In the history of the modern drug war, no man has ever been hunted more relentlessly. No man has ever escaped more spectacularly, and no man has ever built an empire more vast. His name was Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Loera, but the world knew him by just two words: El Chapo, the Shorty, the most powerful drug lord on the planet. This is his story. By the time the DEA caught up with him, he had already disappeared, twice, from maximum security prisons, with tunnels, bribes, and the loyalty of an entire nation's criminal underworld. April 4th, 1957. A boy is born in La Tuna, a tiny mountain village in Sinaloa, Mexico, a state so poor and so remote that the government barely knew it existed. His father was a cattle rancher and poppy farmer. Joaquin was one of 10 children. In Sinaloa, growing poppies wasn't just a crime, it was survival. The Sierra Madre Mountains had been the heart of Mexico's drug trade since World War II. For a boy like Joaquin, there was no other ladder to climb. At just 15 years old, Joaquin began working for Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, known as El Padrino, the Godfather, the most powerful drug trafficker in all of Mexico. He was a delivery boy at first. He would not stay that way for long. He was smart, he was ruthless, and he understood logistics better than men twice his age. Within a decade, he had risen from errand boy to one of the most feared figures in the entire Guadalajara cartel. When the Guadalajara cartel collapsed in the late 1980s, most men saw chaos. Joaquin Guzman saw opportunity. He helped establish what would become the Sinaloa Cartel, and he had a vision no one else had: tunnels. While other cartels bribed border guards and hid drugs in car panels, El Chapo went underground. Literally, he commissioned engineering-grade tunnels beneath the U.S.-Mexico border. Some stretched over a mile long. Some had ventilation systems, electricity, and rail carts. At its peak, the Sinaloa Cartel was moving more cocaine into the United States than any organization in history, an estimated 200 tons per year. El Chapo's personal wealth would eventually exceed $14 billion. His power wasn't just money, it was fear. Entire police departments were on his payroll. Judges received envelopes before they ruled. Politicians knew his name before they took office. El Chapo didn't just traffic drugs, he trafficked influence. June 9th, 1993. Guatemala. Mexican and Guatemalan authorities close in on a caravan of vehicles moving through the jungle. Inside one of them, the most wanted man in North America. El Chapo was finally caught. He was sentenced to 20 years and sent to Puente Grande, one of Mexico's most secure federal prisons. Authorities celebrated. The press declared the drug war had turned a corner. They had no idea what was coming. What happened inside Puente Grande reads like a movie script. El Chapo didn't just survive prison, he conquered it. Guards were bribed, officials were corrupted. The warden himself was on his payroll. Puente Grande became his second headquarters. January 19, 2001, a prison laundry cart is wheeled through a series of checkpoints by a guard, one of over 70 staff members who were later arrested for helping El Chapo escape. The cart was loaded, just not with laundry. By the time alarms sounded, El Chapo was already in a vehicle, racing into the Sinaloa Mountains. The Mexican government's response? They claimed not to know he was gone for 24 hours. The president of Mexico was reportedly furious. But El Chapo, he was already home. The escape sent shockwaves across the continent. It wasn't just embarrassing, it was a declaration. El Chapo wasn't just a criminal, he was untouchable. And for the next 13 years, he would prove it. For 13 years, El Chapo lived in the mountains of Sinaloa, a man the entire U.S. military apparatus, the DEA, Interpol, and the Mexican army were hunting. He moved constantly, he trusted almost no one, and his cartel grew more powerful every single year. In 2009, Forbes magazine listed El Chapo among the most powerful people in the world, ranking him alongside presidents and CEOs. His estimated net worth, $1 billion. The real number was likely more than 10 times that. The Sinaloa Cartel under El Chapo wasn't just supplying America. It had operations in over 50 countries: cocaine from Colombia, heroin from the Sierra Madre, meth from Sinaloa labs, all flowing through a single command structure, his. February 22nd, 2014. Acting on intelligence from an informant within the cartel, Mexican Marines pinpoint El Chapo to a beachside condo in Mazatlan. The operation launches before dawn. At 6:40 a.m., El Chapo is in handcuffs. The image circled the globe within minutes. El Chapo, disheveled, in a white t-shirt, flanked by soldiers. Mexico's president tweeted it personally. The world breathed. The cartel did not. This time, authorities took no chances. El Chapo was sent to Altiplano, Mexico's most secure facility. His cell was monitored around the clock. Guards were rotated constantly to prevent bribery. No laundry cards this time. While El Chapo sat in his cell, just outside the prison walls in a half-constructed house that had been rented by the cartel, a team of engineers began digging, not just a hole, a tunnel. The tunnel was 1.5 kilometers long, just under a mile. It was dug to a depth of 10 meters beneath the prison floor, directly under El Chapo's shower drain. It had electricity. It had a motorcycle on rails it took over a year to build. July 11, 2015. Guards make their routine check. The cell is empty. El Chapo had descended through the shower drain and vanished into a tunnel that shouldn't have been possible to build. He was gone. The world could not believe it. CNN, BBC. Every major outlet on the planet led with the same story. A man had tunneled out of a maximum security prison for the second time. The United States government made one thing very clear. Enough was enough. While every intelligence agency on Earth hunted him, El Chapo was sitting in the jungle, giving an interview to a Hollywood actor. In October 2015, Sean Penn secretly met with El Chapo in the mountains of Sinaloa for a Rolling Stone profile. El Chapo's vanity would be his undoing. The Mexican actress Kate del Castillo had been communicating with him, and she arranged the meeting with Penn. Mexican intelligence intercepted those communications. They used them to track his movements. Within 90 days, they had him. January 8, 2016, Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexican Marines, backed by U.S. intelligence, descend on a safe house. A firefight erupts. 5 cartel members are killed. El Chapo flees through another tunnel, barefoot and still in his underwear. He crawled through the city sewers, barefoot, unarmed. The most feared man in the world, fleeing through filth and darkness, his empire collapsing above him. He emerged on a highway and carjacked a vehicle. But this time, there was nowhere left to run. Hours later, in a motel in Los Mochis, El Chapo was taken into custody for the last time. There would be no more tunnels, no more laundry carts, no more mountains. His story, as a free man, was over. January 19, 2017, exactly 16 years after his first escape, El Chapo was extradited to the United States. He arrived in New York on a U.S. government plane, in chains to face charges that had been building for 2 decades. The trial lasted 4 months, over 50 witnesses, former cartel members, corrupt generals. A former Mexican president was implicated. The jury heard about murders, bribes, and a drug empire that had flooded American streets for over 20 years. February 12, 2019, guilty on all 10 counts. Drug trafficking, murder conspiracy, money laundering. The jury took just 1 day to deliberate. El Chapo showed no reaction. His lawyers promised an appeal. Today, Joaquin Guzman sits in ADX Florence, the Alcatraz of the Rockies in Colorado. He is in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. He will die there. Meanwhile, the Sinaloa Cartel he built continues to operate, now led by his own sons. The drug war that consumed billions of dollars, thousands of lives, and the careers of countless politicians produced one man in a supermax cell. The machine he built, still running. The tunnel builders are still digging. And somewhere in the Sierra Madre, someone just like the boy from La Tuna is making the same choice he made. Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Loera, El Chapo, born in poverty in the mountains of Sinaloa, died, not with a bullet, but with a verdict, in a cell he will never leave. If you made it this far, you know the real story now. Subscribe, because there are more stories just like this one.